What's up, everyone? I'm really ticked off right now. Where's Cade on my profile? That's weird. Hmm. Need to find a way to stream from my Xbox. I think I need an Elgato for that, but I don't have. So. I wonder what this banners thing is. What kind of banner showed on screen? Whoa! Hey, what's up, Magnino Alex? Magnino? I don't know how to say your name. Yep, EU is terrible. I even have a Last Jedi poster. Or right there. So yeah, that's how you know I hate the EU. Hate it. I just hate it. Not like I have an EU book right here. I don't have one. Another stupid thing in the expanding. I wonder if Matt ever saw that. I hope he did, because I thought it was hilarious. I was dying laughing making it. I want to do a part 2. Matt Wilkins' the best quote. Yeah, it most definitely is. He has a lot of great quotes. I told the whole group chat that I'm streaming, and 3 people liked it, and they're not here. 4 people liked it, and they're not in stream. I don't understand. It was amazing. Please do. I will. You guys got to give me some more things that are stupid in the expanded universe. And Alex, if you want to get on, let me know. I will send you a invite code. Man, I've been playing through Jedi Academy. I said I was going to do it on stream, but I can never get it to work on stream, so I just gave up. It's really good. I'm really liking it. And the amount of planets and maps you visit is just crazy. Lots of EU planets, Bakura, Vijun, Biss is mentioned. I don't know if you actually go on Biss. Of course, Korriban's in it. Man, what else is in it? Coruscant, that's an EU planet, technically. And a bunch of new planets that I've never heard of. So it's really, really neat. It's a really cool game. Now, I prefer Jedi Outcast. I just prefer the story in that and the characters. But I really do enjoy Jedi Academy for what it is. So it's a shame though that Jaden was never mentioned. Kyle Katarn is mentioned in like the NJO, but Jaden is not, and it kind of sucks that he's not mentioned at all. In fact, I'm gonna look it up. How many times he was mentioned? I know he had a couple novels to himself after Legacy, but he's never actually mentioned, which I don't even think is fair because Streen and Tyone and Corran Horn, they're all mentioned in Jedi Academy. So plus Goofy's son is Rosh. Yeah, Rosh is kind of an annoying character, kind of like Ahsoka. That's the worst insult ever. He's actually in Legacy of the Force Fury. That's really cool. He's in Crosscurrent Riptide. And he's mentioned a couple times in Fate of the Jedi, but that's about it. What's up, Titus? We're just chilling, talking about Jedi Academy. Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm on Wikipedia right now about Jaden Core. It says believing that Riptide brought closure to Core's emotional plot threads, but also acknowledging that it raised many questions, thus opening up the possibility to explore the intellectual side of Core's story. Paulus Kemp, he wrote Riptide. Kemp originally had plans to follow it with more novels about Core and his companions, building upon the major reveals in the previous two books. However, any possibilities of such follow-up novels ceased to exist on April 25, 2014, when the expanded universe was rebranded as the non-canon Star Wars Legends continuity, with no more works planned to be released on it. So, those of you, those morons who like to say that the EU, there's no more possibilities for storytelling, well, here we go with more possibilities for storytelling, more plans for stories, but they got canceled. So, Odin I think it's I read it as probably What's up, man? Y'all go follow this guy on Instagram. He makes a lot of cool stuff. He's a big Tales of the Jedi, Old Republic guy, like me. So, well, I'm an NJO guy, but I love the Old Republic and Tales very much too. Though I don't know why I'm separating Tales of the Jedi like that. Probably because it is. I don't know. It was my favorite Old Republic story, but now it's KOTOR. So. KOTOR 2 is great as well. Yeah, man, thanks for the shout out. Of course, of course. I haven't listened to your podcast, so I'm not a podcast guy, so really that many? It don't surprise me though. They were always having something planned. Yep, Legends of the Jedi on Spotify. Go give them a watch if you don't, or listen technically, not a watch. Odin, your shout out. Man, such a shame. Such a shame what happened to Jaden. What I don't understand is why the authors are not pitching ideas, because a lot of the books were just pitches from authors at first. Like, for example, Darth Plagueis, Lucino pitched that idea. I actually talked to Calvin Scott about that. He's like, why don't y'all just pitch ideas? And he's like, well, we don't pitch ideas. It's like, why not? Isn't that how that works? Not anymore, apparently. Actually grateful the Mall Legacy era game died. Would have broke Hane Rune Crate's design. Yeah. I'm also kind of glad that Coder remake was canceled, sort of. Because I knew they were just going to change the story, so I didn't want to see that happen. So I'm fine that it was canceled. I got the original game, and I love the original game for what it is, and I'll continue playing it forever. I don't know. I want to start doing. I don't know. If I'm gonna do YouTube videos, what I want to do is do like slideshows and just do voiceovers because I don't have the camera for that. So, because I can write scripts. I mean, I'm in a film class, so I know how to do it. So it's like I can just write out what I want to talk about because I want to talk about lore is really what I want to talk about. I'm big into timelines. I love like on my Instagram I have a series about the Empire and how it went from the Galactic Empire to the Fell Empire. Because I just that kind of stuff just fascinates me. Same with the I want to do one about the New Jedi Order, how the Jedi Order went from the Jedi Order to the New Jedi Order. So I was sad about it at first, but the more I learned about the reasons behind the Kotor cancellation, the more I think it's for the best. Absolutely. And I don't trust Disney Lucasfilm with EU. So when I was kind of excited about the remake at first, but the more I'm like, first of all, I didn't want it to be canon. First of all, second of all, I didn't want the story changed. I really didn't even want the story added. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I guess maybe they add like a newer planet, like not a part of the main planets: Tatooine, Manan, Korriban, Dantooine. I know I'm missing one. Whatever. Like I didn't want them to add a new planet for like the star map, or where you can find a piece of the star map, because that would have kind of changed the story. But like a new planet for like, because then there was a DLC where Yavin, like a station at Yavin 4 was added. So I don't mind that, but I just don't want the story changed, and now that's not going to happen. All I wanted was updated mechanics, updated graphics, and additional side quests. Everything else should say exactly. A side quest I was fine with. I just didn't want anything added that is actually consequential to the story. Because think about it, they weren't going to make it canon. They said, yeah, it's going to stay Legends. So, and if it does stay Legends, technically it'd be New Legends media. First of all, second of all, where was I going with that? I read Alex's "You Want to Lose Your Co-host." Now I forgot where I was at. Kodor side quest. I didn't want anything added to the story, and since it is Legends, now I know where I'm at. Since it was going to say Legends, there could have created continuity errors there if they added big things to the story. So that was the big reason why I don't want that. Yeah, Alex, I will invite you. So I'm just gonna type the stream invite code to your DM. I'm gonna DM it to you on Instagram. Because I don't feel like emailing it to you. My email don't work anyway. Alex. PEZ. X 62. This should be right. I'm not positive, but let me know. I'm mostly indifferent on the topic of the remake. I just want a John Saigon recast. Rip Cander's would be the same. Yeah, that's true. Any of the voice actors, I don't want them to be different. Which for Bastila wasn't going to be different. They did. I mean, Jennifer Hill's voice was in the trailer, so from what I remember. I hope you guys like the banner. EU is never canon. It's true. Or EU sucks. There's that. Just waiting for Alex. Yeah, I remember you. Of course I do. I've actually been wanting to get back in contact with you because I go to St. Jude now. So, what's up, man? I'm sure they keep everyone else. It's just since that John passed. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, they'd have to, unless they just reused old voice lines from the original game. That's an option. These banners, yeah. But Adrian, I'm gonna put my Instagram, like a tag in the chat. So if you want to contact me, there you go. Adrian's an old friend. I didn't know he passed away though. That sucks. When he passed away? Hopefully, it well, hopefully he didn't pass away, but yeah, they could just oh look, Alex he's come to the stream. He's just waiting for me to add him, but I'm not gonna add him.
Look at another stupid thing in the expanded universe.
That's right. Really. I'm gonna put that as a banner actually.
By the way, Jackson's awesome. I read those Marvel comics. The bunny, he's cool.
Oh yeah, I love Jackson.
Also, Valance, that guy's awesome.
He's completely different. He's in the new canon. He's completely different.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He was in the new canon. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he has a whole series to himself. Oh, that creative freedom is really
yeah.
It's been really utilized there.
We need to cancel Legends so we could make our own original content, and then just take somebody from Legends and put them into canon. Because it's really original.
It's like, why couldn't you give a Valance comic set in the old canon with the original story, just continuing it? Because then isn't he alive in 108?
I have not read that one yet, so I don't know. I haven't read them because I'm reading in chronological order. So I saw him seemingly die, but since there's no body, there's no way to confirm that. But I know on the cover art he's there. I don't know if that's actually him or not. I'll have to see when I get to it. But there's a lot of Luke and Leia kissing though in those early comics. Yeah.
That's what you
get. Leia gets around.
That's George Lucas for you.
Yeah. Well. To be fair, nobody knew back then.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of Leia kissing Han, Leia kissing Luke. I think it happened at least 5 times. But I'm hoping after episode 5, when they continue the comics after episode 5, that since they see the direction that clearly George Lucas picked Han as the significant other, that those kissing scenes will be less frequent, even if they don't know that they're brother and sister. I'm reading the Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster, and that's also got some parts that are a bit hard to read because on the swampy planet, and Leia and Luke have to be really close together, and Luke is really happy that they're stuck together that night. And I'm just like, bro, if only you knew. I'm so sorry. The awkwardness later on, which you guys know. But yeah, it's interesting. It's because I read Honor Among Thieves, which was publication-wise the last EU novel we ever received, sadly. It was actually a really fun one. But I went from that to the very first EU novel ever. It's just kind of crazy.
I'm still reading Shadows of the Empire because
you enjoying that so far?
Yeah, it's really good. But Dash Rendar, I like Dash a lot, but he definitely is a rip Han.
By the way, Cody Sparks is here. I don't know if you remember him. He says EU sucks, and Alex, you should try to get Lance on the next Moffrins. I mean, that's not really up to me. That's up to Noah. It's not my channel. But yeah, you should come on. It'll be fun. You could be my partner, my only other Denning defender.
It's not that I'm defending Denning. It's just not that big a deal to me.
Yeah. It's like, I don't even like Denning that much. Or like, I think his books are fine, but like out of the entire Denning verse, and I've said this multiple times in like their Discord, that I prefer Olston and even Karen Travis's work over Denning's. Like, I just find him to be the weakest author. But I don't hate his books. I like the overall story post New Jedi Order, but I don't love it. And it's surely not because of Denning himself. But
well, it's like, because the common argument I hear all the time. Well, you know me, I'm a big Vergeer fan. So
yeah,
it's like people are like, well, making her a Sith contradicts her view of the Force. It's like her being a Jedi, that contradicts her view of the Force too. She believed the Force didn't have any sides. The Jedi didn't believe that. So it's like,
yeah, I made a point.
That's the point of her. She doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's a Sith. I really disagree with that idea because it just doesn't, to me, come across in New Jedi Order because she sounds different from a Sith, but she also doesn't necessarily sound like a Jedi. She just sounds like a person that has a really unique view because she lived with people without the Force for like 40 years. So, but I don't even think she was trying to make him do anything necessarily. She was just trying to show him what she considered to be true. And I could see him taking that in a bad direction. Not necessarily that it would lead to a bad direction, just that it could, if you take it to a certain direction, could be taken of arrogance and stuff. Because, I don't know. I think about Jason early NGO, and he was like really, not full of himself, but he questioned everything. Like a lot of atheists and stuff do, which is fine. But it got really annoying over a while, and he was like, I know better, is what it kind of came across. And he was like pissing everybody off because he's like, oh, we shouldn't be fighting them because the Force, it's not the Jedi way. It's like, bro, you're what are you, 16? Shut up. What do you know? And he gets humbled in Traitor and stuff. But still, I can see, like, if a guy goes away from his family for 5 years and learns a bunch of stuff that not even the Grand Master of the Jedi Order knows, I can see pride coming in there. And that's not even from anything Dennings wrote. That's just from NGO itself. No, but Verge's not the equivalent of Yoda at all, besides the fact that they're a bit mysterious and that they're quirky. But Yoda and Verge are very, very
Cody,
different.
You said this last time. I told you, Yoda actually aligns with the ways of the Jedi. Vergeer doesn't. So you can't compare them.
Well, I think that's the point, is he's trying to say that Verge basically just is like Yoda. Because, okay, so when I was talking to Noah and all of them one time, I don't know if this was in the Discord or if this is one of Noah's live streams. I just want to say for the record, me and Noah, we've talked about other things besides Denning, and we've gotten along fine. He's a fine person. I don't actually dislike the guy. It's just really funny to rag on him. He's a fine gentleman. But they were talking about like how I think Josh was there too, his co-host. They're talking about how well you see, and I mean I agree to this part, which is that Verge was not torturing Jason, the Vong were, and she couldn't exactly let him go because the Vong were watching her 24/7. But what they say is that she actually has basically the same exact views. Okay, imagine this. Imagine taking one of the most interesting and amazing characters in Star Wars and saying, oh, well, guess what? Her character is not actually as deep as you think it is. She actually has the same exact views as Yoda, pretty much. It's just that she has to talk in rhymes and in weird euphemisms because the Vong are listening in and watching. So all the things like don't trust anything I say, everything I say is a lie. It's not actually anything deeper than I'm actually just trying to tell you what Luke already learned in episode 5 and 6, except that I can't because the Vong are watching. So I got to be more mysterious about it. Is basically the thing. So she's Yoda 2.0, and she's only being mysterious because she has to be. And there's nothing deeper to her character than that. Is basically what they're saying. And they're saying that's why she's such a great character. And I'm like, what?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, no, she's just mysterious. Because that's who she is as a character.
Yeah. I just think it really, to say that she's like a lot like Yoda or has like basically the same Jedi views as Yoda just diminishes her character greatly. So
yeah, I've compared her to Yoda, but only because she's unique like Yoda, or she's unique in the sense, in terms of her mysteriousness, because Yoda's mysterious too. But
and the fact that like if she was actually in a movie, she'd be a puppet too. Yeah.
I think it means two figures with established views and then turn around to having another one. But Vergeer never had an established. The only established view she had was she didn't believe that there's side to the Force. The Force is the Force. That's how she viewed it. Now, for her to be a Jedi, it doesn't make any sense because Jedi don't see it like that. Jedi's, there's light and dark. Sith are the same way. So, but the only view she had was the Force has no sides. Yoda is not like that. He believes that there's a light and a dark side of the Force. And yeah, if he was real to be a Sith later on, that wouldn't make sense. But if Vergeer, not really, because she doesn't believe that there's sides to the Force. And she's mysterious, so it's like, she could be a Sith, she could not be a Sith. She could be a Jedi, she could not be a Jedi. So,
also to Cody's. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say to Cody's point. I think this was to one of Matt Wilkins' comments in a video. I don't remember which video it was, but I said that Christy Golden was weak to me, but I did not say she was the weakest in all of the Denning verse. I just said that I thought that she wasn't as good as like Alston. But I was specifically saying that, even Golden's better than Denning's work. At least I think that's what I said. If I made a mistake, I didn't mean to. But Christy Golden's fine. I think it was something to do with like canon. And we're talking about Christy Golden. I'm like, I only know her from Fate of the Jedi, and I thought those were okay. But I'm not even a biggest fan of Fate of the Jedi anyway. I thought it was rather boring for a good portion of it. But anyway, sorry. Went off topic, or we don't have a topic, but I just started going in a direction.
Someone said, this is an interesting comment. If they don't take someone from Legends, they create a character that's basically the same. Salah's End. Who's that?
Is that the girl from the Rise of Skywalker? The black girl? That's the only one I can think of.
That's Jan.
Oh, then I don't know. I don't know who Xanastaros is.
Is that a
Cody? I'm gonna be honest. I honestly don't remember. If I did, that's
this is that one girl from Dark Empire.
Yeah, Salah's End. She's the one. You haven't read the Han Solo trilogy yet by A.C. Crispin, have you?
No, but I have read Dark Empire.
Okay. But yeah, that's an old girlfriend of Han's.
Yeah, and then he's comparing it to Sana Starros, which I know who that is. Sana Starros, well, she's a smuggler, I think. Female who didn't have a glass of war. She claimed to be married to Han.
Oh, she wanted to get married, and then Han dipped. Because that was back before he, had a character progression. And then in the sequels, he he reverted back to who he used to be. Oh. They got fake married? I thought they never actually got married. She said we should, and he freaked out and bailed. Oh, you're saying this new character. Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's basically saying that Sana Starros is a ripoff of Sal, which I can see that.
That does, well, from the comment, definitely sounds like it.
But that, what he said, or if they don't take someone from Legends, they create a character that's basically the same. Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. I thought he was quoting someone for a second, like from Lucasfilm, and I'm like, y'all are admitting to the truth now.
It'll never happen.
No, they don't have to admit to it. We already know what they're doing. So
yeah.
On Twitter, I called out Cavan Scott a whole bunch of authors for copying EU characters, and Cavan Scott put out this. Man, I'm gonna read it to you. He didn't say me, but I know he's referring to me. Apparently, I was supposed to. He said he was. He accused me of trying to insult him, and I wasn't. I was just being very stern. Let me find it. He posted it on Instagram a while back. He said, woke up to a nameless troll coming out of nowhere to insult me and question my creativity. If you're copying other characters that you didn't create, you're not being creative. He says, does it hurt? To be honest, yes, as was their intention. No, it wasn't. But all it really does is to push me to do more work and be more creative. Good. That's the whole point of that tweet. They want to discourage, but all they actually do is spur me on. I didn't try to discourage. So thank you, troll. You're muted, and I'm working harder and with more passion than before. So I don't know if it's me, but I'm assuming it was because he posted that right after I tweeted that, or like the day after. So, yeah, I'm. Oh, and then Justina Ireland blocked me on Twitter.
Man.
That's so funny. And she posted something too. Let me see what she posted or what she said. If I can read it. Yeah, she blocked me. But she says something interesting. She said one of her tweets in response to what I said was, if you're in your feelings that Disney owns Star Wars, which had nothing to do with what I said, roll on with it, but that's got nothing to do with me. Take it somewhere else. And then she says this. Go help dismantle capitalism or be prepared to see your other favorite franchises be devoured by a global entertainment corporation. I'm like, dude, you're working for Disney. What are you talking about dismantling capitalism? You're upholding it by working for them.
Yeah.
And making products for them. It's
people.
You're good, Titus. I was kind of harsh with my response. I see what you're saying, but I just don't agree with what Cody's saying. So, getting blocked by Justina Ireland on Twitter is a W. Yeah,
we're not bullying you, Titus. You're awesome.
I mean, I liked A Test of Courage, to be honest. It was kind of reminded me of Young Jedi Knights, but I don't care about Justina Ireland at all.
Yeah. Well, the idea that authors getting too upset over what some random person said on the internet. It's the same thing. I have no issue with this YouTuber. He's fine. I am subscribed to him. He seems like a relatively nice guy. I think that Twitter just becomes a cesspool where people become let their dark side out. Star Wars pun intended. But you know him. Star Wars Timeline. He's fine. Makes fine videos. On canon.
He's a freaking moron, dude.
Yeah.
He's a fake EU fan, if you ask me.
Well, he gets really like one of the things that got me like really like upset, like even though it wasn't happening to me, was he's like, I forget what it was something about you like being a kid or whatever, and like you don't know anything, and you should stop, and you're wasting time making posts on Twitter, and I'm just like, but aren't you like 40 or something, and you're over here wasting your time responding to a teenager? Which one's more sad?
I'm gonna find those tweets, my tweets, and then what he said. It was a while ago though, and I've tweeted a lot since then. I'm active on Twitter.
You're very active.
I love making fun of people on there.
Dude, like 90% of my retweets are just you.
I'm based 100% of the time. So, I mean, am I wrong?
No.
Someone said, he said, even Rebels Thrawn is far superior to Eve. I said, I made a bunch of premises. I said, EU Thrawn attacks the established New Republic on Coruscant. Premise 1. Premise 2. Rebels Thrawn loses to a small rebel cell in Space Whales. Premise 3. Thinks Rebels Thrawn is superior. And then I said, I think my daily dose of stupid has been reached. And it was. I got off that night.
Yeah.
Let me find that tweet with... What's the name? Star Wars Timeline?
I've actually watched Rebels. This is one of the few things I did watch. So I can actually test to the fact that Thrawn in Legend or in canon is not the same. He's far stupider. I can't speak to the books because I haven't read them. I hear good things about the Thrawn books by Timothy Zahn. I imagine they're fine because Timothy Zahn wrote them. But if he's anything like the Thrawn from Rebels, then he's not the same character.
That's exactly why I don't like the new Thrawn books. And I haven't even read them. They're the first Thrawn stories that we ever got in the new canon was Rebels Thrawn. So any Thrawn after that in the new canon is going to be based off that. So yeah, I get Zahn wrote it. I don't care. And there's the story group that's involved. So so Zahn does not have all the freedom that he once had.
I'm not too kind to Zahn. I don't mean to be. It's just I've been going through everything in chronological order. So I reread Allegiance and Choices 1 and Scoundrels. And I'm just like, I don't know what happened. It seems like a Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like he made this amazing trilogy that it was basically episode 7, 8, and 9 to the Star Wars movies. And then I don't know what happened afterwards. He just stopped making good freaking content. I don't know. At least in my opinion, like all of his books afterwards just degrade, minus Outbound Flight, which was a slight bit of a step up, and then it all comes crashing down. I also just hate his arrogance with a lot of things. Like with Scoundrels, before I'd only heard Matt talk about it, then I read it. The book is fine. It's not like a horrible novel or anything. It's fine. But he's like, I'm Timothy Zahn. I want Lando in my book. So, frick AC Crispin. I'll tide it over, okay? I get it. I have to follow the guidelines now or whatever. So frick you guys. I'm gonna put him in, and I'll say, oh, well, he was willing to forgive Han after the AC Crispin incident, which I will mention just to appease you EU fans. Right, this story happened, but now, even though that was clearly meant to establish why they haven't talked in 3 years, he's willing to move past it. He's still a little annoyed with Han, but he can move past this. But it's actually my story. That's the true reason that Lando's pissed at Han in episode 5. And it's, I don't know. Zahn. It did have somebody from Wraith Squadron, which was pretty cool. I won't say who, but that was a nice addition. But I don't know. Zahn just missed.
Sounds like Dave Filoni to me.
He was the original Dave Filoni. I mean, he never actually contradicted anything. Filoni has on several occasions, but he got really childish about it, like with Choices of One. And this is his own stuff. This isn't even like other people's stuff. He's like, literally, Mara is like up on a scaffolding, like really high in this building, and Luke is on the floor. So like, she can't really see what he looks like, right? He's just some dot running on the floor because that's how high up she is. But they're close enough to talk to one another, even though Zahn himself stated that they have never met until the Thrawn trilogy. And I mean, I guess she saw him in episode 6 because she was at the palace, in Jabba's palace. But they were never supposed to officially talk or anything before then. But he does that. It was like, well, they didn't actually see each other, right? They're just talking from far away, so it doesn't count. See, EU fans, you can't do nothing. I'm Timothy Zahn. It's my baby. It's my own character. You can't tell me what to do. It's like, I don't know, man. It's your own canon. It's not even anybody else's work. It's you wrote this stuff. Why? I don't know. Zahn just pisses me off a lot of the time. But
Zahn can actually create good stories. I like Filoni, so
yeah,
there's a difference between him and Filoni there, right there.
True, that is true.
I'm going to read you guys what Star Wars Timeline said, and remember this is from a middle-aged man. Hey, teen troll who presumes to know Star Wars better than professional authors who produce best-selling books. I just want to remind you that your opinion means zero to actual fans. That's a red flag. To invest time and money reading the content you clearly know jack shit about. Thanks. Also, or he said hashtag also find a job. And this is my response. 1, I have a job and I make most of most teens my age. True fact. 2, there is no such thing as a real or fake fan. If you say otherwise, you're toxic. And I stand by that. 3, you seem really upset if my opinion actually means nothing.
Yeah.
4, you're an old man shouting at a child on Twitter. Hashtag get a job. So.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Oh, and I'm not done yet. I should also, and this is what I said, I should also mention that most of the books I have in my collection I bought using my own money, and I rarely ask my mother for a book. Yeah, she'll buy books for me. I love my mom. And I've spent the last 2 years reading nothing but Star Wars novels. I think I've invested time and money into this franchise. In fact, I just bought freaking Jedi Academy Leviathan on a trade paperback because I really wanted that comic. And then I said, one last thing, timeline. Would you ever say this to me in person? You wouldn't. So is it really a good idea to say it on Twitter? Oh, wait, you can hide behind a screen. That's okay, though. You're still an old man triggered by a teenager's opinion on Star Wars. So, I haven't talked to him since.
Yeah.
I don't know why he hasn't blocked me yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dang. He just says something. He just pins up to his freaking Twitter. He said, let me poke this hole a bit. No pun intended. I'd like to believe my childhood hero is straight. That okay with you, 2022? I don't know. I hope he gets a bunch of hate for that. I don't know. I don't care what they make Obi-Wan sexual. It don't bother me at all.
Well, I just... It's only Obi-Wan because people know Obi-Wan. And so it's an easy way to be, progressive. I don't necessarily care. It's just... It's only Obi-Wan because that gets views. Like, if it was just some random Disney EU character, people are less likely to pick... I have no issue. Like, Ferris Olin is never explicitly stated, but in the Last of the Jedi series, it's pretty heavily hinted that he's gay. I don't care. He's his own original character with his own original history. If they want to promote that more, so be it. But it's Obi-Wan specifically and only because that's how you get more sells, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't have messed with Obi-Wan's sexuality because it seems to be pretty clear for the last 30 years to be straight. But it's only for the sake of marketing and getting more money that it's Obi-Wan, because an Obi-Wan book will sell. Some random guy named Zim Genghis Khan or something is not going to get as much views. So, but that's my main thing. It just seems disingenuous. It wasn't to add to Obi-Wan's character and explore this, story and make his character more developed or nuanced. It's just, well, now he is because money. And that's why I just think it's stupid. But I don't read it, so I don't care. Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I will say the way she wrote that scene was freaking creepy. Like, what?
yeah.
Obi-Wan's sitting there like, I don't know if I want to kiss everybody in here or none at all. Seriously, you can look up the excerpt for that book, and it says that. It's freaking creepy. It's weird. It's like, who writes like that? Who thinks like that?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I want to kiss everybody that's in this room right now.
I've never thought like that.
I haven't either. Like, jeez.
And this is coming from the guy who said the first thing he thinks of when he thinks about Dark Empire is naked Palpatine.
Yeah, naked Palpatine.
yeah.
Zim Genghis Khan, the rival of Yashiref Ellen. Alex will get it. I don't get it.
That's pretty good.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
What I cared about, though, is Siri Tachi, because Siri is mentioned in that book.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's in the book. I'm going to look that up, actually. But I know she's mentioned in it, at least.
That's another thing, though. It's like they keep adding names, but it doesn't really mean anything because, like, all of those stories, as far as we're aware, until they confirm otherwise, all those Jedi Apprentice stories never happened. So, as far as we know, that's just a name. But she could be a completely different character than the one that we fell in love with. So, right.
Oh, she is in Padawan. Okay, she's also in Brotherhood.
Again, bringing back characters from Legends. Why not just mention Satine? Oh, I guess she would. No, he would have. Depending on when the book takes place. Or I guess it really doesn't matter because it's canon. But in Legends, there's a time skip with the Jedi Apprentice series where you can technically fit in the backstory of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan going to Mandalore for a bit. Even though the whole section, if you like Mandalorians at all, then the whole thing with TCW and the Mandalorian is so freaking broken. I actually like some of the stuff with the Mandalorians in TCW, but the issue is if you read anything else having to do with the Mandalorians, it just, your brain explodes. I had the hardest time going through the Clone Wars era because it's just so much. And I had to headcanon so much, which I don't like doing because I like staying consistent with whatever the canon says, even if I don't like it. That's why I'll read Allegiance again in the future, even though I don't like the book, because it's canon to Legends, so I will read it regardless. But there's just no way to go through all of Clone Wars in chronological order without your mind exploding because it's so broken. And it's only because of Filoni. If Filoni wasn't in there, it'd be fine. But because Filoni's in there, it messes up everything, if you're including it at least. That's why I understand why so many people just yank it from the canon. But Lucasfilm, before 2014, considered it canon. So I must, despite my sanity, include it in the timeline. And so that was a nightmare.
Oh, and from what I've been reading, it seems like Siri Tachi was just cameoing in those books. Of course she was, because, they got to appeal to Legends fans somehow.
No, they got to give them little scraps. It's like, we know you don't really care, but here's a bone. Take it, accept it, enjoy the book, and shut up. Give me your money. We got Thrawn in a new canon. Here's another wonderful thing about the Disney Expanded Universe.
I sure do love Vanilla Class. I sure do love Vanilla Class Star Destroyer at the beginning of the Clone Wars. Is that a joke I'm not understanding?
See, one of my weakest aspects of Star Wars knowledge is simply like the ships and stuff, because not that it's bad to be this much of a nerd. I've never been one to be like dissecting ships and knowing like the differences between all, like I know people get really into that, especially like in Halo fandom and in a lot of people in Star Wars too will get like really into the ships and the guns and stuff and the specs and all that and what could actually take on what, and like that's all cool and all, but my brain doesn't work that way, so I've never like been able to do that. I'm just like, oh, this is the pizza ship. This is the Millennium Falcon, and that's that. But well, we keep changing.
Yeah, I'm messing with it.
Yeah, now I'm super small. Yeah, itty bitty living space. Like Foofy Rock gets small in the third Lando book. Speaking of which,
I don't even have any of those books. I have the Han Solo ones, but I don't have the Lando ones yet.
If you end up loving Brian Daly's Han Solo books, you're most likely going to enjoy the L. Neil Smith ones. I am small. I'm only 5'6". Okay, Cody, I get it. Thank you for furthering my insecurities. Actually, 5.6 is normal. What?
I don't want the mass market paperback, but the Legends label. I want the original omnibus of the Lando Calrissian books. Oh, here's one from.
It's really hard to get that now.
Screw this mass market paperback, because I have the original. I have the Han Solo Adventures omnibus, like the original one.
Yeah.
There's some from eBay. This sucks.
What's Iron Inquisitor up to?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
Wow. Cody says you can find them for a fair price on eBay.
Each individual book?
Think so.
I've never bought anything from eBay.
It's Lando Calrissian and the Mind Harp of Sharu, Lando Calrissian and the Flame Wind of Ocean, and lastly, Lando Calrissian and the Star Cave of Thon Baka. Those are each the titles individually. Foofy Ross.
Here's one. Classic Star Wars Lando Calrissian Adventures by L. Smith, first print paperback.
Does that just include all three without the Legends banner?
It looks like it. I'm trying to. Well, it's like, okay, they have real pictures. Okay, I think this may be it because it has the old Del Rey label.
Yeah.
Because the covers are pictures, but like it could be sus. This is why I don't like buying.
What does it look? What does the pictures look like?
Here, I'll just share my screen. If I can figure out how to do that. Share screen.
You got 11 of the 18 Jedi Apprentice books on eBay for $50, which is $30 American. That's freaking awesome.
Okay. It's this one right here. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, that one I think is legit. I've seen that elsewhere.
It's only sure $8 too. I may buy it actually.
I'm pretty sure that's it. It's a really good trilogy though. Luffy Raw is great.
And I mean, look, it has the original Del Rey label.
Oh, I see. So Titus says initially the Alchemator class assault ship, Gray Star Destroyers from Attack of the Clones, were the first Republic Navy warships in the Clone Wars, but leave Filoni to retcon that. Odin confirms that that's a legit cover of the Lando book. I think he meant Lando, but
you're right, but I'm lazy.
The great thing is that Google exists, so you can always look them up on Google Images and save them to his computer if he really wants to look at them. Print them out.
Build a lot. Star Wars Saga paperbacks. Man, there's new canon there. Screw that. I don't want that new crap.
You know what I've noticed is you started off being really open to the new. It's like it's a progression with you. I've seen it because I've seen your development. You started off being like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, and you started reading stuff and doing all that. It's like good for him. And progressively over time, you've gotten more and more negative about Disney canon.
It's Filoni, man. As each new show comes out, I don't like the new canon even more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, eventually I'm going to get to a point where I don't want to read anything or watch anything.
I think the biggest jump in that development was when you were talking about Book of Boba Fett every week. And you just looked more and more disappointed as it kept going.
Because I was hating that show. It's like that show just seems so goofy the more. I mean, the freaking that Twilight dude. I mean, really? It's like Jar Jar Binks of the Disney canon. That Twilight. I don't mean Major Domo. He doesn't have a name. He's that irrelevant. He's just Major Domo. Mayor's Major Domo.
Gotta love those 2 Mandalorian episodes.
Peli Motto.
Save the show.
The more she shows up, the more disinterested. Like, she's. Yeah. And of course, they have to put her and the freaking Major Domo together. Imagine that child. Oh, if it was EU, they wouldn't be able to have children. But since it's new canon, they can.
Right. Yeah.
You spent $30 on Brotherhood?
Why would you have done that to yourself?
I would have just read it to the paperback if you're that interested in reading it. The only thing I would spend like for hardbacks are the High Republic. That's the only thing I'd spend hardbacks on. But
they got nice covers at least. I haven't read them.
I like the High Republic because it's away from the other Disney stuff. So
yeah,
and you can't put any EU characters in it, right? So
yeah,
because it's a new era. Even the EU didn't explore that. So the only reason why I like the High Republic is even though Avar Kriss, she's very similar to Bastila. She's not the same, different story. She's similar in the sense that she's female. She is a leader and she has battle meditation. So.
Oh, is Heir to the Jedi that third book in the unofficial trilogy before the buyout? Because we have Razor's Edge, we have Honor Among Thieves, which is fantastic, by the way. I actually really enjoyed that one, and then Heir to the Jedi. I think that because Heart of the Jedi is obviously the EU book that never came out, but because basically Honor Among Thieves focused on Han, and then Razor's Edge focuses on Leia, and then Heir to the Jedi is supposed to focus on Luke. But all they had was like, oh, Chuck Wendig is going to write Heir to the Jedi. That's all they knew before the buyout. So that's why Matt Wilkins doesn't accept Heir to the Jedi into the expanded universe, because there wasn't even an outline for a story yet when the buyout happened. So Chuck Wendig could just literally do whatever and not have to adhere to any continuity. But I think that's what he's talking about. I have not suffered through it. I'm not going to, because I'm pretty sure it's Disney canon, to answer your question in a long-winded way.
Yeah, Disney canon, so that means I read it. That's my answer.
Yeah. I hear Razor's Edge is rather bland though, so we'll see. I'll get to that next. But
all I remember is Luke trying to move a noodle with his mind.
What is he, Neo from the Matrix, but with a spoon?
Heard it was good, was desperate. Very much wish I bought the paperback. Well, since you bought it, you might as well read it.
It's just Luke doing errands. Want to see Luke go to the grocery store?
He does get a girlfriend in that book, though, so it confirms he's not gay. If he's going to be,
well, he might be. He's bi. Both. Everyone that we've ever known and loved before, all of them are bi. Okay, because that's the thing these days. They have to be. It actually enhances their characters because I'm still waiting on a response on that. I asked somebody, I wasn't angry about the Obi-Wan thing. I didn't care. I was just like, okay, what does this do for Obi-Wan? What does this enhance for us? And I never got an answer. They just said, oh, it was really interesting. Well, I'm glad you found it interesting, but that doesn't answer my question. It adds nothing. Right? Like, if it changed the way we viewed Obi-Wan or something, even if he's bi, his character doesn't change. So why even mention it?
Well, Alex, apparently he's bi.
Right.
I don't know. I think that's isn't that like a guide or something that the new Disney canon just put out?
Luke just needs to get with Han, because honestly, that was the true love story that we were all missing. Like all of the time. Leia and Luke, Han and Leia. No, it was always.
They should just have a threesome.
No. They should bring the Killix in from Darkness.
Oh yeah, that'll make it better.
Yeah, get some bug action in there.
Or Tahiri.
Oh no. Oh, you mean because foot stuff? Because she's all about the feet.
It's a bunch of short stories. Why is it always the young adult stuff?
Yeah, why is all the young adult stuff so sexual?
Because Padawan is a young adult book, technically. I think. Maybe wrong on that. I'm gonna look that up. Padawan is a young adult novel. Yes, it's a young adult book.
So it's a YA novel.
Yeah, and it's from Disney Lucasfilm Press, so it's not a Del Rey book. It's not Del Rey. It's not adult.
It was nice when
Whale.
Sex didn't have to be the most important thing. There was a time when you could just enjoy a character. None of the other stuff mattered.
Never heard
the person.
Or him. Could be a him at this point.
Wait, are you serious? There's sex scenes in Lost Stars? Isn't that like one of the first books to come out after Disney bought the rights?
Yeah, and it's
like Catalyst, Tarkin, Lost Stars is one of them. Aftermath.
Max is openly bisexual and dedicates herself to including queer representation in her writing.
Which means it's going to be included in every single thing she writes. See, that's another thing. What? I thought it was just like, we want to be ourselves, which is fine. And then it became, everybody needs to know about it, and we need to spread it in every single thing we direct or write about. But why? I just don't get it. Why does this have to be so important? I've never looked at somebody and been like, I need to know this specific aspect about you, to care about you or to understand you. Like, I don't know. I like a lot of people, but I've never needed or cared about the orientation.
Sam was also like, that person.
Oh, really? All the dots are fitting together.
Revan was definitely going to be a gay lesbian.
Revan was going to be a girl. They're going to make that canon, even though in Legends canon he's most certainly a guy, because when you play SWTOR and you get to the expansion Shadows of Revan, he's most certainly a guy. But he would have been canon-wise in Disney a woman who would have been bisexual. It just would have been the case.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to have to go soon because I have to get up tomorrow.
Yeah, work?
Nah, I got just stuff to do.
No,
so I got to leave. I got to get
I thought it was going to be a girl played by Brie Larson.
Hell yeah.
Captain Marvel.
And then Bastila will be a male.
Yeah. And they'd really sexualize him because it's okay if it's reverse.
They did sexualize Bastila a little bit, though.
That's fair. But
if you remember on Tatooine, when they lose all their clothes. Or not Tatooine. Wasn't that on the ship? I don't remember. Mitra Surik was definitely sexualized. The first thing you see.
Mitra or Bastila?
Well, I'm talking about Mitra now.
No, I'm saying preference.
My preference.
Like, which one of these video game characters is more attractive?
Dude, they look the same.
They don't look the same.
Okay, they're video game characters. Not really interested in that. I don't know what you're interested in, Alex.
Oh my goodness.
I know you like Naked Palpatine, but
oh my goodness. I just wanted to make sure you make a joke saying Johanny. Because that would have been really bad for you.
Oh yeah. Johanny's freaking hot, bro. Just kidding.
No.
First time I played KOTOR, I killed Johanny.
Oh my goodness.
On
She's accident. So nice.
I was trying to redeem her. I'm like, screw this. So I just killed her.
Dang. Luke would have been so disappointed in you.
Well, he wasn't born yet, so.
Yeah, that's so true. It's about 4,000 years too early. Or like 3,987, but still.
Juhani is a furry.
Is she a furry, or is anybody who dates her a furry? Because she's just born that way.
Juhani. I mean, she is.
Don't look up Juhani on Google Images. You're gonna get bad things.
I mean, she is a cat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yes. Now I'm thinking about all the furries that read the old expanding universe. They were reading Tales of the Jedi. They're like, oh my goodness, these cat people. And then they get to KOTOR, like, oh my gosh, this cat person. Oh my gosh. That's pretty creepy. Good. That is creepy, but it's a pretty good cosplay though.
Yes, I mean that's definitely a furry. Most definitely.
Oh my goodness.
Now
I'm just getting a bunch of people.
What in the world? Was she in SWTOR?
I don't think so. She would have been dead. Unless they...
Revan wasn't dead.
Well, yeah, but Revan's being kept alive by the Emperor.
Okay, well, maybe Juhani was...
Corn Horde would have loved Juhani. Dang. That's pretty funny. But you know who wouldn't have loved Juhani? Based Kip Durant. Best post Return of the Jedi. Outside of Luke and Jason. And Cornhorn. Why are you
looking that up, Titus?
Yeah, why do you know this?
Did you look up NSFW Juhani?
I'm glad it doesn't exist, but why were you looking for it, Titus?
He's probably lying just so we can look it up.
No.
Because it does exist.
It has to. If it exists, there's porn of it. That's Rule 34's motto.
I started reading Rogue Squadron, but I gave up on it.
Rogue Squadron's so good, though. You just have to keep going.
It was actually... Man.
So SpongeBob Cody? The first one? Yeah. Well, okay. Here's the thing. Some people argue that Alston is better than Michael Stackpole. However, I think they're pretty neck and neck, but you might prefer Wraith Squadron over Rogue Squadron. But you got to get through Rogue Squadron first to get the Wraith Squadron.
Well, plus, you're missing out. I read their NJO stuff, and Aaron Alston's Enemy Lines was way better than Dark Tide. So.
I can agree to that. But I do think it is a really good section of the expanding universe before the Thrawn trilogy. That's definitely worth reading at least once.
I hated iJedi.
Yeah, so, me too. For the same reason Matt dislikes it, because I love the Jedi Academy trilogy because that's the based opinion to have. And Michael Stackpole's like, I'm just gonna do a pull Filoni before Filoni and kind of, shoehorn my character in here. Even though he doesn't really belong in here, but I like Michael Stackpole. He said it was okay.
I don't care.
That's because Kevin J. Anderson's nice and just wants to and then you pissed on his work to include your own. It's not even the whole book. It's like maybe 2/3 of the book. And then he goes off to do the actual plot of the book. So it's only there. So it can be like, here's me doing Kevin J. Anderson's work, but better. And then let's go on to the actual plot, which is Cornhorn going after his wife. But that's literally it. Like if you just took out the Jedi Academy stuff, the book would be like maybe 100 pages.
Cornhorn's a simp.
And definitely. Alston's better, I'd say, in terms
of
So
is Captain America. See, Tony Stark died a hero. Captain America died a simp. There you go. I mean, literally, he went back in time and got old just because of a girl.
He went back in time and became Joe Biden.
Yeah, I know.
Alston is better, I'd say, in terms of plot, while Stackpole is better with characters, is what Cody says.
Okay, I mean like Alston's better in terms of characters. At least making them relatable, because Kip and Jaina in Enemy Lines, that was great stuff.
That is a based opinion detected.
So Stackpole, I mean, I liked his Dark Tide stuff, but it was probably my least favorite out of any of the books in NJO.
I can't agree. That's the most definitely the Force Heretic trilogy. But I don't hate it, but to me that was.
The Pelion stuff in the first book, that stuff was awesome. But
sure.
Stuff was awesome,
there's so much meandering in that trilogy too.
I will say the Sisarook or the Bakura thing was I liked going back to Bakura. It was cool seeing the planet again, but
it's unnecessary.
And then at the end, it's revealed, the Vong were in disguise as Sisarook. It's like, okay, and then it has nothing else to do with the story.
Yeah. It could have been condensed to one book. That's what I'm saying. Same thing with the Hand of Thrawn. Could have been done in a single book. Did not need to be a duology.
Bro, but Final Prophet, Greg Key stuff in NJO.
Oh my gosh, Greg Key's like, wrote more in.
That's like cake right there. That's like.
It was so good. The only thing that beats Greg Key's stuff for me is Matthew Stover's Traitor. I think Traitor's the best book out of all of NGO.
Nah, Vector Prime is the best.
Oh, I say Traitor because I'm more of a character person than I am like an overall plot person. And it's literally just a character study for like 300 pages. And it's mostly just dialogue, which I can understand a lot of people find that boring. I just ate it up. I finished that in like 3 hours. I didn't piss. I didn't eat. I didn't do anything but have my eyes glued to Traitor. That's how much I was into it. Great.
So I don't know sorry. I don't know if y'all remember, but there's an Instagrammer I follow. Her name is Hell Hog the Log. She's a big Wraith Squadron fan. She only reads the NJO stuff that has Wraith Squadron in it.
What?
Nothing else. I'm like, you gotta read. I've asked her, how are you doing this? How do you understand what you're reading?
Like, I don't know how you could just like jump into NGO and only read that. I feel like you'd be so lost. I think so. I think it was 3 hours. Titus. I just did not stop. That's all I did. That's what I'm saying. I think she would get confused, Cody.
Yeah.
Also, Matthew Stover's not a god.
She said she read enemy lines
like any man
to Destiny's Way to Unifying Force. I'm like, do you even understand what Xenoma Saccade is? Why it's here? You missed the whole big part of the story.
It doesn't matter because it has the Rogue Squadron people, okay? And if it doesn't have the Rogue Squadron characters, then it's the worst thing that's come out of the expanded universe. I'm just gonna use that for everything now. Oh, you know, I died when I saw your post the first time.
I thought it was pretty funny.
So good. But you got to get heading out, right?
Yeah, I got to go. You have a great day. Great night. It's probably night for everybody here. Long live the EU. Just as an FYI. Long live the EU. Don't kill no one. Be safe. You have a good night.
Live long and prosper.
That's the most awkward way I've ever ended a stream.
Still going. You're still going.
I know.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought you ended it and didn't realize that you were still going. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.